Dikshit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So I'll just make another video for the same series for the Solidity programming series, and in this video I'll try to explain you about the view which we have seen in the last video when we are seeing the state variable, global variable and local variable. So at that time I have told you about it, like in front of the function section itself there is a keyword mentioned, it's a view. So I'll have skipped that stuff at that time, but now I'll explain you about it, what exactly the view, what is a pure statement and what is actually a simple function. These all type of function is it's we existing over there itself. So I'll let you know about it first and then we'll go to the code itself. Okay, so what exactly is a view? So as we will to understand with the keyword view, so read is allowed but write is not allowed. Okay, so the statement is very clear in case of view. We can read it but we can't do anything as a writable one. Okay, if we're talking about the pure, there is another statement which we call it as a pure. So pure is a keyword which we can call it as read and the write is not allowed, okay, for the state variable, but only the local variable can read and write. I'll repeat once again. For the pure function, read and write for the state variable is not allowed, but for the local variable, read and write is possible with a pure. But with that view, like the read is possible for the state variable. Okay, so that's the difference between that. If we're talking about the simple function, yes, the change of the state variable is very easily in happening in the case of simple function. We're talking about the simple function where we're mentioning a public. Straightforward, we can change the state variable, whatever the things we are defining as the state variable, we can change that inside of the function itself, so that we call it as a simple function. Okay, so now I'll just read few things for you. A function function mark as pure is one that does not read or modify the state of the contract. Okay, these are the specified content, that is the generic stuff about it, but this is the actual specified. If anyone asks you about these are how it exactly be you differentiate between a view or in case of pure, then these are the points you have to get it mentioned over there itself. The another one for the pure is it does not access any storage variable and it does not modify the contract's state. Okay, so it's not do any read or not do any write. Okay, that's a bigger problem for the pure itself. So it can modify the only the local variable which is present inside of the function. Okay, read and write. You're talking about the third point. Pure functions are a meaning that they always produce the same output for the same input. So what it means, like if we are giving, like even my example also at the time when I'm running the code itself, so whatever the input we are giving it to the pure function itself, it's giving the same output back to us. Okay, so that is the actual understanding of the pure. Now if we're talking about the view, it's a straightforward. The function marked as view formally can constant before Solidity version 04, so that's a specified version for it, indicates that it does not modify the state of contract, but it can read the value of it. Okay, it can read the state but cannot change it. View functions are used for reading data from the blockchain without creating a transaction. So we are not doing any transaction in using the view function, but we can read it, and there is nothing like a transaction is happening over there itself. That was the reason a view statement can be used and pure is not. Pure we are using it where we are not using a state variable, straightforward, just to get it modify that. Okay, that's a straightforward thing. And there is one more line which I want to tell you, which can clarify each and everything about it. So both pure and the view functions are used to indicate that a function does not modify the state of the contract. The difference lies in whether they read the state view or not access any state pure. Use pure when your function does not even read from the state, and can use view when it only read from the state but does not modify it. So when you don't want to read and modify, use it pure, but if you want to only read it, just you go with a view statement. Okay, that's all about the theory part. Now we go to the code directly. So this is the actual code which I have written already. Let me see, I have deployed it also already. So this is a straightforward same thing which we have read earlier also. Okay, this is the name of the contract which we have defined it. This is a state variable, and I have missed one thing at the last video at the time of the state variable, so I'll just explain you over itself. If we try to get it define the age over here and try to assign a value over here, it will not allow. But if we want to put it a value, assign and giving a value also to that variable, then in that case it's possible. So state variable, you can do assigning a value also in such a way, initiating the variable and assigning a value to that in one line. That's possible. Now we go inside of it. So this is one of the function where we can see that it's a view function. Now it's a pure function 1, pure function 2, and this is a simple function. I'll explain you each and everything about it. So what exactly is happening over here itself? So if we're talking about the view function, so view, we are aware about it, it's only a read one. Okay, it can read. So whatever the values get it defined from the state variable, it cannot change anything. Okay, it cannot change. So whatever the value is defined over here is 20, it always, whenever you calling this function, it's always giving us 20 only. Okay, even talking about this one, so over here itself, as it can't read any state variable or it can't modify also, so in that case we are passing the value from our side. Okay, so in this case, as we are not like it, whatever the things we are giving as an input, like this is a return one, so whatever the value we are giving as an input, that is the only thing we are getting output. So as over here itself, we are not seeing anything as an input, we are seeing only a return one. So return one is 1. We have already defined it as what exactly the value we want to get it return, so it's a 1, so it's get return and we get that value, so the value will be 1. So whenever you calling the pure function 1, you will get the value as 1. Now we're talking about the another function where the same function, a pure function 2 we are using, but over here itself we are trying to pass the value. So over here, whatever the value we are giving as an insert 1, we get the output same. We get the same return back the same value. So take example, if we are giving 200, we are getting a return back output as 200 only. Okay, that's all about it. Now we're talking about the simple function. If we're talking about the simple, there is nothing like a view or nothing like I can talk about a pure. If there is a simple function we are using, then that is what actually is happening. So simple function having a right to modify the state variable. So take example, if a state variable is 20, we are, so in case of simple function itself, what actually is happening, so value of the state variable is 20, so it just get it assigned 20 and plus 10. So we can change the value of the state variable. So when we are calling a simple function, anytime itself, it get increment the value, and it's continuously incrementing the value for it, as we are changing the value of the state variable in case of function only, which is not possible in case of view and pure. Okay, so now you can able to understand the difference between all three. And now we'll simply compile this code. It's compiled. Now let me deploy that and I'll show you that now. So in case of simple function, what actually is happening, we'll see the age value first. It's 20. If I'm running the simple run function, and now I'll just want to see the age value, this is 30. Okay, now if we're talking about the pure function 1, this one, so this should be return a value 1, so you can see it's a 1. So if I'm talking about the pure function 2, over here itself we have to pass the value, so whatever the value I'm passing it over here, I'm getting that in output 200. Okay, that's the last one where we can read the value. Okay, so whenever I'm just running on it, as it's already increased the value of the state variable to 30, so if I'll run this before running this simple function, then in that case definitely we can see the value of the age as 20. But as it's already increment and now the age value is changed using a simple function changed to 30, so when I'm calling the same function, view function, which can read the value of the state variable, then in that case I can see the value is 30 only. Okay, so I think it's clear to you now what actually the difference between all three. That is the only things which I just want to get it covered in this video itself. I hope you can understand the whole video, and if you have any doubt, just let me know about it. So if you like this video, please subscribe my channel. If you want to put any comment, you can put the comment in the comment section of this video itself. And if you want to provide any feedback from your side, please provide the feedback. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye, and like my channel once again. Take care. Bye bye.